Welcome to day 22 of the 30 days of singing. Now, today is Thursday and I must confess to being a little bit at a loose end just to know exactly what to include on this day of my month's task, my toil. And then I remembered that earlier in the week I was having a discussion with a singer about the pitfalls of singing with a backing track. Now, obviously, it's really most ideal when we sing to use or have someone to play for us, to use an accompanist, a pianist, someone who will listen to us as we're singing and who will respond when perhaps, we're having a slight struggle with the length of a phrase, or will just ease the tempo slightly so you can get that little breath in. But what happens when you're using a backing track and you want it to sound as if this is a well-rehearsed routine, polished, with everything falling in exactly the right nanosecond of the event? Well, that's tricky, but not so awful, not so impossible, but there is certainly a knack to it. Now, back in the day, I'm going back a little while now, when I was directing a group of singers called Class Apart. Of course, every concert we did, we relied on having someone to come and play the piano for us. And in time, it wasn't that became limiting as such, but we wanted to branch out slightly. We would do a cappella concerts where there was no need for anybody to accompany us at all. And then I tried something new. And I remember breaking it to the group and saying, now look, what we're going to do is we are going to do a concert of songs, but we're going to use a backing track. We're going to use a medley of songs. And here I have in my hand evidence of my backing tracks. Now, no kidding, we did concerts a whole evening where we only used backing tracks. We did Rodgers and Hammerstein on Broadway, and that was a cracking one. I can't remember how long that lasts, but we had great fun with that. We did Disney Movie Magic. We did One Day More, and we even got the Beatles in review. Now, we didn't do all of those in one program, but certainly we have used them in separate programs. The secret to how you learn something like that is that you really have to work the moments when the tempo changes, when the speed changes, or you slide in from one tune into another tune within the medley. Okay, so became a skill. We had to know the backing track so well that it was deeply ingrained in everybody's oral memory, so that there were no surprises. Everyone knew exactly what was going to happen with the key changes, the tempo changes, things like that. And the only way we could do that was to rehearse those points lots and lots and lots and lots, which we did do. And then we pulled off concert programs which were very, very successful indeed. But I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about how you use backing tracks to rehearse for something like an ABRSM exam. So that would be a singing exam where you're taking a graded examination. So with these exams these days, you not only get the book of music. If I just change my hands, I'll show you. You get the book of music. So here we have the ABRSM songbook, grade 3, but you also nowadays you don't just get the music, you also get CDs as well. Okay, so these are your backing tracks. This is what you can use to rehearse, and I thought it might be worth just spending a couple of minutes talking about how you get around the problem of making the accompaniment fit you and not the other way around. You don't want to be singing and practicing your song always feeling that you are at the mercy of the recording, the backing track. You have to find a way to make it your own. Okay, now I'm just going to pause the video and get things set up. And I want to play two different songs, just little bits. Now, the first one is a song by Purcell, so it's going to be quite different to the next one I'm going to share with you. Ah, How Pleasant 'Tis to Love. And I'll just play the very beginning where the tempo, the speed is set, and then kind of there's a counting in process. So just have a listen to this. Here we go.
One, two, three, one.
So this is a song written by Purcell. It's quite straightforward. There are 2 verses. The tempo does not change. The speed does not change. The problem with the song is that there is no time, seemingly, to take breaths. So when you're rehearsing or practicing with your backing track, you really have to know and appreciate the speed of the backing track, because it is never going to change for you. So I always advise singers or students to really get inside the accompaniment, get to know the speed, so that you're in your head and in your mind, you are in the song, you're imagining the words, you're kind of putting them to the test. And don't try singing the song until you really have that internal clock, that sort of metronome ticking over. Otherwise, you will get systematically behind with each breath that you have to take to do the next phrase, and then at the end you'll be very frustrated. What I'd like to do is to give you an example of singing through the first bit of this song, where I'm trying to demonstrate that I am in control of the song. I know the speed. I know it quite well because, of course, I've been teaching people how to do this. So I know what's already in my head, and how I can sing the song and not get behind. All right, and that's just because I really do know the speed. I can think about it and imagine it. Here we go. He's going to count me in.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Ah, how pleasant 'tis to love, every moment does improve. Joy surprising now I meet, nothing's like love so charming sweet. Psalm, etc. So what I hope came across there was that I was in control. The accompaniment was happening. I was aware of it, but it wasn't kind of pushing me along. I was singing the song in my way, and therefore there was a good deal of success. The secret is just to know the backing track really, really well, so you know its every twist and turn. Now, I want to take you to another song in the same grade, which is a lovely song. I love it to bits, but it's a totally different thing. This one is by Leonard Bernstein, and it's called My House. Lovely words, and it starts with a sort of a slightly different section where it's almost conversational. Okay, so the accompaniment underneath should feel like it's happening in the moment as you're thinking about the next words to sing. And then for some reason, as you turn the page from the bottom where this first section finishes into what they call the main refrain, as you like, there's a huge gap. And every singer has great difficulty in knowing how long to wait, and there's a bit of hesitation that comes in. So let's see what happens, shall we? See how I do. So this, I'm not so sure of this song, and I'm not so sure I will get everything right, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a go. Here we go. So this is My House by Leonard Bernstein. Will you build me a house that really will be mine? Then let me give you my design, a simple scheme of the house I dream. my house of wood, build my house of stone, build my house of brick and mortar, make the ceiling strong, strong against the storm, shelter when the days grow shorter, etc. So it didn't do too badly, but I was really listening. And what that can do sometimes when you're listening far too much to the accompaniment is that you are actually, part of your brain, your thinking is being siphoned off towards the accompaniment and the listening, when really it should be the other way around. You should be in the moment performing, and the accompaniment should be following you. So you have to bear in mind that backing tracks are great, but in the end they are very set. They cannot be changed, and therefore the best way that you can get mileage and use out of a backing track is to know it so well that you could kind of play around with it a little bit and make it sound as if you are totally at ease within the framework of that song, and that you intended it to be like that all along. There is a real skill in using them well, and that skill starts by listening lots and really getting inside the accompaniment so that you can then vocally preempt, be ahead of the game, be thinking around in a different way. I hope you follow my drift. Okay, that's it for day 22. Just a little insight into using backing tracks and how you can learn with them. Okay, more tomorrow, day 23. In the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day. I should be back again very soon, and bye for now.